Islamic Family Relationships. Part 1. In Islam, family relationships are not just about two people living under one roof. They represent one of the greatest blessings from Allah, a bond built on love, compassion, and mutual understanding. The Holy Quran says, "And among his signs is that he created for you spouses from among yourselves, so that you may find tranquility in them, and he placed between you affection and mercy." This verse shows that marriage is not merely a physical connection, it's a spiritual and divine bond. In truth, family life in Islam is like a school, a place where a person learns patience, kindness, respect, and responsibility. A spouse is not just a housemate, but a trust from Allah, a partner who strengthens one's moral and spiritual side. The meaning of marriage. Marriage in Islam is not just about fulfilling needs, it's an act of worship and love. Each partner completes the other, becoming a source of peace, security, and comfort. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The best of you are those who are best to their families." This hadith teaches us that a person's true worth is not measured by public achievements, but by how they treat their loved ones at home. If someone is kind, fair, and understanding with their family, it reflects the strength of their faith. The spiritual perspective. Islam views family relationships through a spiritual lens. When a husband and wife come together with mutual love, respect, and purity, it is considered an act of worship. Imam al-Sadiq said, "There is nothing more beloved to Allah than a husband and wife who live together in lawful harmony." This means that sincerity, compassion, and love between spouses invite divine mercy into the home. Marriage, a covenant, not a contract in Islam. In Islam, marriage is not just a legal paper, it's a sacred promise before Allah. It is founded upon loyalty, patience, and mutual respect. Imam Ali said, "A woman is a man's companion in life. Whoever disrespects her, disrespects himself." Family life is not only about rights and duties, it's about spiritual responsibility. If a man treats his wife harshly, it's not just poor behavior, it's a sign of weak faith. Understanding each other. Marriage in Islam is built upon recognizing and fulfilling each other's needs, emotional, spiritual, and physical. If spouses fail to understand one another, coldness and distance will slowly replace love. The Prophet said, "When a man pleases his wife's heart, he earns a great reward from Allah." So love, care, and empathy are not just emotions, they are forms of worship. The concept of intimacy in Islam. Intimacy is not merely a physical act, it's a meeting of souls. When love, respect, and affection exist between husband and wife, their relationship becomes pure and beautiful. The Prophet said, "Do not behave like animals. Approach your wife with gentleness, kind words, and affection." Such teachings show that true intimacy begins not with touch, but with tenderness and emotional connection. When spouses treat each other softly and lovingly, their relationship becomes a source of healing for the heart and soul. But when there is haste or indifference, the bond weakens. Cleanliness and preparation. Islam emphasizes cleanliness and mindfulness before intimacy, both physically and spiritually. Cleanliness brings comfort to the body, and pleasant fragrance brings peace to the heart. The Prophet said, "Cleanliness is half of faith." Thus, maintaining personal hygiene, wearing pleasant fragrance, and caring for appearance are all considered acts of worship within marriage. The rights of a spouse. Islam gives great value to women's rights. A wife is not the property of her husband, she is a precious trust from Allah. The Prophet said, "Women are like delicate flowers. They are not created to bear hardship, but to be treated with love and care." This means men should not seek dominance in marriage, but should instead offer protection, affection, and respect. Likewise, women respond with loyalty, gentleness, and gratitude. Husband and wife are not rivals. They are life partners walking the same path. Mutual behavior. Imam al-Sadiq said, "When a man treats his wife with kindness, Allah forgives his sins." Kindness in the home does not just beautify family life, it beautifies the soul. When spouses exchange kind words and prayers for one another, the home becomes filled with light and blessings. But anger, insults, and cold silence, these are the enemies of love. Islam strongly discourages such behavior. Preserving love. Love is not something that appears once and stays forever. It must be renewed every day through care, attention, and prayer. In Islam, showing affection to one's spouse is like giving charity. A smile, a kind word, or even a small gesture of care all earn divine reward. A husband and wife should be each other's closest friends. If love exists, the home becomes a place of peace and healing. If it fades, even the walls grow cold. Islamic Family Relationships, Part 2, Etiquette and Spiritual Sensitivity. Intimacy in Islam touches not only the body but also the heart and soul. When shared within love, respect, and lawful boundaries, it becomes an act of devotion. The Prophet said, "Even when a man is intimate with his lawful wife, it is a form of charity." When his companions asked, "O Messenger of Allah, how can that be charity?" he replied, "If he were to do it unlawfully, it would be a sin. When he does it lawfully, he earns reward." This reveals the deep spiritual dimension of Islam. Even natural desires become acts of worship when guided by faith and purity. Mutual respect and understanding. Both partners should recognize each other's emotions and needs. Imam Ali said, "When one of you wishes to be close to your spouse, do not rush. Women also have emotional needs." This shows that true love in marriage must be both emotional and spiritual. Gentleness strengthens affection, harshness destroys it. Spiritual preparation. Before intimacy, Islam encourages mental and spiritual readiness. Begin by remembering Allah. Perform ablution for peace and purity. Wear clean clothes and pleasant fragrance. Approach one another with kind words and tenderness. The Prophet said, "Do not act hastily. First, express love through gentle words and affection." Such moments of care bring hearts closer and transform intimacy into a sacred connection. Blessed times. Islamic tradition also mentions recommended times for intimacy: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday nights, especially Friday night, bring blessings. Times to avoid include during an eclipse or violent storm, between sunset and the evening call to prayer, or on the first, middle, and last nights of the lunar month. These are moments of spiritual balance and reflection. Beautiful manners in marriage. The Prophet said, "When a husband and wife show affection to each other, Allah forgives their sins." Islam encourages couples to use pleasant fragrance, speak softly and kindly, pray together, and begin with Bismillah. Such actions elevate love from the physical to the divine. After intimacy, couples are encouraged to thank Allah for His blessings, perform purification, pray for righteous offspring, eat light, natural foods like honey or water for strength. The Prophet said, "Drink water and cleanse yourselves after intimacy. It brings strength to the body." These teachings strengthen both body and soul. Forbidden or disliked acts. Islam discourages behaviors that harm the body, soul, or mutual respect. Acting with anger or haste, turning away from the Qibla during intimacy, being disrespectful or harsh, ignoring consent or emotional readiness. Absolutely forbidden. Intimacy during menstruation, any act without mutual consent, behavior that causes harm or discomfort. These are not just rules, they are protective guidelines for mental, spiritual, and physical well-being. The power of prayer. Praying before or after intimacy brings blessing and peace. Imam al-Sadiq said, "Whoever begins intimacy by seeking refuge in Allah is protected from evil influences." This prayer reminds believers that even private moments are under Allah's mercy and care. Advice for women. The Prophet said, "If a husband calls his wife, she should respond with kindness." This is not about submission, it's about mutual understanding and respect. When a woman treats her husband with care and love, their home becomes a fortress of peace. Imam al-Sadiq said, "A woman who pleases her husband's heart will be among the people of paradise." The wedding night. The wedding night is not just a ceremony, it's the sacred beginning of a shared life. It should be filled with calmness, patience, and tenderness. It's recommended that the couple prays 2 units of prayer together, their room is private, peaceful, and comfortable, they exchange kind words and affection, they begin everything in Allah's name. The Prophet said, "Begin your marriage in the name of Allah, it will bring blessings to your home." Psychological and emotional harmony. Islamic psychology teaches that love, patience, and mutual respect create emotional harmony. Harshness and haste lead to stress and disconnection. Therefore, Islam encourages affection, playfulness, and compassion, because these make love more meaningful and strengthen family bonds. The Prophet said, "The most complete believer is the one who is most gentle with his family." Islamic family relationships. Part 3. The spiritual meaning of the wedding night. The wedding night is when two souls unite under Allah's mercy. It's the start of a new life, built on love, patience, and faith. The Prophet said, "The most beloved home to Allah is the one established through marriage." Traditional etiquette. Islamic manners teach couples how to show mutual respect and prepare spiritually. Cleanliness and ablution, 2 units of prayer, a heartfelt dua for love and righteous children, a calm and private environment, words of affection and reassurance. Pray to Allah on your wedding night, the Prophet said, for such prayers are never rejected. Emotional comfort. A new bride may feel anxious or afraid, so the husband should show patience, understanding, and gentleness. Trust is built through kindness, not force. When a man treats his wife gently, said the Prophet, he earns a reward equal to fighting in the path of Allah. Psychological understanding. The early days of marriage are about learning and adjusting. Disagreements may arise, that's normal. What matters is mutual respect, listening, and empathy. Imam al-Sadiq said, "A woman is a source of comfort. When a man honors her, his home becomes blessed." The balance of body and soul. Intimacy in Islam balances both body and spirit. It's not just physical, it's an expression of love, mercy, and unity. The Prophet said, "Whoever pleases his spouse's heart is like a leader striving in the path of Allah." Cleanliness and health after intimacy. Islam recommends performing ghusl, not sleeping in a state of impurity, renewing ablution before further intimacy, maintaining hygiene and grooming. These bring both physical health and spiritual serenity. The role of prayer in marriage. Prayers strengthen emotional bonds and bring blessings. O Allah, increase love and mercy between us. Make us a source of blessing for each other. Grant us righteous children. Such prayers fill the home with divine light. Knowledge and education. Learning about marital life is not shameful, it's necessary. The Prophet said, "Seeking knowledge is obligatory for every believer." Knowledge of emotional and physical care builds stronger, more loving families. Marriage as worship. When a marriage is lived for the sake of Allah, it becomes worship. Love becomes pure, loyalty becomes sacred. Whoever treats his family with kindness, said the Prophet, Allah will raise his rank in paradise. Marriage, then, is not just worldly happiness, it's a path to eternal reward. Raising children with love. A peaceful family raises kind and balanced children. When parents respect each other, their children learn respect naturally. Imam Ali said, "Raise your children first by improving yourselves." Children who grow up around love and prayer become compassionate, responsible, and faithful adults. Preserving love and mercy. Love is like a plant, it must be watered daily with care. A kind word, a smile, a thank you, or a short prayer, these are small acts that keep love alive. The Prophet said, "Even giving a sip of water to your family is charity." This reflects the deep humanity in Islamic family ethics. Conclusion. The family, a divine school. The family is Islam's most sacred institution, a place where love, patience, and mercy are taught every day. Imam al-Sadiq said, "A woman is the blessing of a man's life, and a man is the strength of a woman's heart. Together, they build peace at home and harmony in society." If love, respect, and prayer dwell in our homes, then light, peace, and justice will shine in our communities. Final words. In Islam, marriage is not just about living together, it's about growing together toward Allah. Every act of kindness, every smile, every gentle touch is an act of worship and mercy in the eyes of God. The strongest man is the one who is most gentle with his family. May Allah bless every home with love, patience, and divine peace.